I'm loving hearing our men acknowledging their wives tonight, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So I'm just going to put it out there. If you one day would like me to acknowledge you, or if you know of somebody at home that would like me to acknowledge them, just quietly, I haven't had any official mother-in-laws. Had about 27 unofficial ones. And then there was the 350 that I didn't meet the next morning. But that's in the past, It's in the past. Now you're sitting there, don't lie, and look at my face. Of course it happened. This is not about me, this is about people that actually got nominated. Our next award is award number 6. The nominator is the YMCA, and our nominee is Gerald Eaton. Gerald's skills as a personal trainer are invaluable to the Y Fitness membership. He works with people from all walks of life and with a wide range of abilities and limitations, ranging from people in wheelchairs with physical limitations to people with cognitive limitations and people who are differently abled. He is also a well-respected trainer for fitter, healthier people and high-level athletes. As well as his dedication to our community's well-being, he also jumps in to help service gear and maintain our facility. He can always be counted on to jump in and help where help is needed. Gerald is a father to 8 children and relates easily to all our customers, whether they are young people or our older members, the eldest being well into their 80s. He manages to make an impact on anyone he comes into contact with. Gerald is a fine example of healthy, fit lifestyle, and is someone who lives their life according to the core values the YMCA upholds, which are caring, honesty, respect and responsibility. Gerald is a role model and support person for many people outside our facility. He has a heart of gold and will always go out of his way to assist where needed and support however he can. Gerald always goes above and beyond what is asked of him. He spends many hours after his shift in the gym helping and assisting our fitness teams and members. He has a special place in the hearts of the YMCA organisation and anyone using our facility. Gerald is one of Tauafi's skip champion dads. Homai te paki, Gerald Eaton.
I think Gerald's definitely much more comfortable in the gym where probably most people are less comfortable than here. But he has decided to say a few words, but he's an incredible person and that's why we nominated him. And I think it's not just at the YMCA but the whole community, and it's just great that we can recognise him for that tonight.
I'd like to say thank you to Tim, right, Choice, thank you. And I'd like to thank Janine and the YMCA for this award, thank you. And I'd like to thank my wife-to-be. I'm going to marry you soon, bub. As soon as I pay the car off. No, sorry. And to my 8 kids, yeah, my retirement plan. No, I love them, and yeah, thank you.
Nominated by Tairawhiti Reap, and the nominee is Kiri Gilbert. Born and raised in Wairoa, attended Wairoa College, and as life would have it, through adversities, Kiri Gilbert has emerged into a very talented, caring and adored young man, with half the audience coming up with him too. Much alright, whananga, too much alright. Bit of a show-off, eh? With a strong interest in music, the self-taught musician considers himself fortunate to have had key influences in his life, his mother, whānau and teachers who have inspired him. He is quick to acknowledge those who have helped contour the man he has become and looks forward to the future that awaits him. A natural magnet of both young and old with his infectious appeal, his open mind and willing heart to see only the good in others, he leads by example and walks the talk as an exemplary Māori role model to Wairoa's young people and, most important to him, to his nephews and nieces. Elevating Wairoa's profile in more recent times, and by his own admission through his desire to change it up in his hometown. He led the establishment of Wairoa Planeteers with an enthusiastic, vibrant group of concurring young minds who have endeared the hearts of all walks of life. I'm going to ask Henare Tahuri after what concurring means, because he's from Wairoa too, so he probably knows. He dares to cross boundaries, cultures, age and genders, bringing people, places and hot topics together whilst taking nothing for granted. Music plays an endearing part in his natural connection with his whenua, hapu and wider community through compositions, video snippets and his generosity of heart to give back to his hometown. A young man who knew that rangatahi and whānau needed to have another medium to be informed and to be heard during the local government commission's proposal to amalgamate 5 council entities, which included Wairoa. How can our young people understand this complex beast? The people needed to get involved, and knowing music would reach the people, Kiri Fusion happened. Wairoa's Say No video clip went live. This simple act to Kiri raised the urgency for the people. The catchy tune, the simple message went viral across the nation, and we believe was pivotal in the 76% voter turnout in his hometown. Give it up. A glimpse of Kiri's involvement and contributions over the year. Writer and composer of music, YouTube, kids, friends, weddings, Wairoa profiles. Making a stand on matters of significance politically, Say No, the amalgamation. Making a stand on matters of the heart, Wairoa hikoi for moko, plus Wairoa high five and clean green Wairoa. Wairoa Planeteers, vision and voice of rangatahi changing trends with no compromise. Kiri Gilbert.
Tēnā rā koutou katoa, nā mihi nui kia koutou. I'm the fortunate person who happens to work for Tairawhiti Men and got the job tonight to stand before you all to acknowledge a young man in our community. I knew of Kiri's works when he was a young student at Wairoa College. He led the band K-Line, you may have heard of in the past. But I have to say that I've personally only just met him over the last 8 months. And I've been absolutely astounded by this young Māori male. In the community of Wairoa where I live, I'm not tangata whenua from there, but I've lived there for more than 35 years. I have to say that this young man, with no compromise, gives of his time, his efforts, his talents to his hometown and his people purely for the love of it. This young man also was instrumental in organising or establishing the Wairoa Planeteers. One might consider Planeteers. Well, if you consider it like that, that's exactly the sort of guy this chap is. He wanted to start new trends in our community. The trend for his for Māori people, children, mothers, grandparents, to come out as one, to do positive things in our town, to keep Wairoa green and clean, to do a monster walk during Halloween. He stood up as a young man during the amalgamation last year and said, "So what's this about?" He was not afraid to ask the question. He rang the mayor. He said, "Well, I'm not quite sure what this means for me." He got a quick 5-minute catch up on what the amalgamation meant, and he said, "Well, how are the other young people in my town who are the voters going to understand that? How will that relate to them? What would impassion them to go and vote?" So Kiri, in his way, just got together with a couple of musicians, someone who was technical, someone who could record it, and then he called upon the town to turn up, and they turned up. I've learnt the discovery of social media with this young man and the team that stand to the left of him. Kiri just needs to put one post up on Facebook, and I'm astounded. Well, I'm not now, because I know who Kiri is. of the following that he has, of young and old, and I mean really young. I've never seen parents turn out to an event like when this guy organises an event. It's not just for the children. The parents want to come because they know the man behind the event. So on that note, I really just want to acknowledge Kiri for all the hard work that you do, for the love of it. He enriches the lives of those who cross his path. I'd also like to thank our mayor, Craig Little, who didn't need to be here tonight, but he chose to be. And yeah. So we're really proud to bring a small portion of our town, and the people that you see to the left of Kiri are some of the Planeteers. They do some marvellous work in our town. They're also doing it on a journey of learning their own reo and waiata, so that when they come to events like this, they can stand stronger as the people that they are. I'd also like to acknowledge my tumuaki, Ani Pahuru Huriwai, who for Tairawhiti Reap has evolved a staff and communities in her way that's suiting our people. And lastly, I'd like to acknowledge Tim. Tim and I go a little way back. Our daughters played netball, and then they grew up and played netball with his wife, and we're educated on the netball court. But in one of the latest events that Kiri was involved with, the hikoi for moko, and in saying that, I really do want to just acknowledge Vic and Phil for the work that they're doing throughout the country, and also choosing to be in communities like Gisborne and Wairoa. You are champions of the mahi that you do. But to you, Tim saw that Wairoa was going to take part. We asked our younger ones, is this important enough for us to actually stand up? Let's give it a go. We're hoping 30 people would turn up. We had TMAs for the State Highway 2 bridge to be closed for our walk. We had over 300 whānau turn up. I'm so proud to come from a community that are prepared to stand up and do things to change the lives and the homes of their children and their wives and their partners. So on that note, Tim, he saw our post, he chose to come. Tauwhiti came. Men from Gisborne came to Wairoa to walk with us. And I thank you for that, Tim. And it was through that Tim said, why doesn't Wairoa nominate someone for the Tairawhiti Men of the Year? I said, Tim, my reaction was, well, actually, the first year that you did that, and I heard what you were doing, I was jealous that we didn't think of it before you did. But 6 years later, I'm very proud to present Wairoa's very first nominee to the very first year, for the 6th year of the Tairawhiti Men of the Year event. So,
kia ora whānau. I've been trying to round up some words, but I can't even round up anything. So I just want to give thanks to my whānau over here, the mayor, Henare, love you mum. Love all of you, I love you all you too. Don't know you, but I love you anyways. But but I just love this ain't mahi to me. It's life, and it's fun. So I don't know why everyone else ain't doing this. You know what I mean? So I just I want to give a big ups to every recipient that stood up tonight and has just been doing it because they love to do that. They don't want it. They don't want to gain nothing from it. They just do it because they can and they want to. Okay. Yeah. So and brother Tim, you're the man.